So here's my thing. Why are you catching an attitude with my daughter? And where is it in your little child mind that I wanted to know where y'all stay? I never even had a problem with her mom truly to be trying to stalk where you and your mom stay. Like, that's what really was going through my head. Like, what is wrong with this little girl? And for you to snap on my daughter like that? But then I had to think about it. I was like, it's not really her fault. She's around all these toxic people that's constantly filling up her head with whatever they're filling her head up with. And it seems like she had her phone on speaker too, because when I said, whoa, for her mom to respond like that, I don't know. Because like I said, I really didn't have no beef with her. Even though, like, you know, when I had, it was because I found out they were still messing around. But I didn't know until I was on the other side. Like, it was all him that literally was playing us against each other, and then wasn't completely honest with her and wasn't completely honest with me. But I had been dropped that whole beef with her. Ben. So how does this little girl feel like it's okay for her to come out at my daughter about me and saying that she doesn't want me to know where she stayed? But yeah, so invested in where I was staying. Oh, when I say I kept that in the back of in my head for a reason, because for that little girl to come at my daughter like that for no apparent reason, what are they saying around you about me? So I already knew, yeah, they got one more time. They got one more time before I cut them off too. Because one thing y'all not going to do, as hard as I work, and for that side of the family to know what type of person he is, and he don't take care of none of his kids, and then me trying to make him be a man, which his mother should have already, but she couldn't even raise her own goddamn kids. And got the nerve to talk about everybody else who has custody of their kids. So I was like, okay, you know, I put a pin in it. I'll remember that. So I go about my life. I go about like looking into these schools. I get enrolled into a program. It's a 2-year program. Oh, excuse me. It's a 2-year program where I'll get my associates in medical billing and coding. And I'm closer to the date for my surgery. Like, it's not until the following year. So I end up having to take my daughter to because at this time I'm trying to sign her up for ABA therapy, because with her aggression, not with her aggression, like she just had a hard time, like, because at this time she was not being aggressive, but I needed her to like with her coping skills, because she would have meltdowns. And I think around this time she went through like 3-4 daycares because she kept acting out. But mind you, the lady that I seen like in the corner, like she was boohoo crying or whatever, she kept telling me but not telling me, like they was hitting my daughter. And then I remember one time when I walked in, mind you, she was still in diapers. It was like, oh, we have some concerns, you know, your daughter is, you know, itching her private part, and you know, she was in her diaper just basically playing with herself, and oh, she was sitting there moaning. And then That was one of the, and then the head lady, I said, that had some issues. You could tell she had some personal issues. She was like, oh no, she wasn't doing that because the child don't know what that is. She was like, she was just like in her diaper. So I don't know what they were trying to, what they were hinting to, because I was like, the only people that be around my child is my oldest son and me. So what are they trying to say? And even then, my son stayed in his room all the time. Like, he barely came out of his room. And at that time, I wasn't leaving my children, even though I know my son. And I know a lot of people say, oh, they know their son, they know their child wouldn't do that. No, I know my child wouldn't do that. Because of the resentment he had towards me and their dad, he didn't want nothing to do with them. He felt like, because when their dad was saying that, oh, they, I have his kids, he's still gonna have, he did not like, and I'm gonna be straight up, like, he resented the last four for a very long time because of their dad. He's still a big brother to them or whatever, but he really didn't like them like that. And for y'all to make that assumption that my son is doing something, or there's somebody around my child that's doing something. Oh, I was already like over this hood daycare. So when I started having to move and everything, and she ended up getting into the program where, you know, when they see that your child already has special needs, they get into school much early. So I'm sitting here trying to find a daycare for her, and I asked the head lady, is there any daycares that's going to allow the buses to drop her off and pick her up? So the one daycare she refers me to, I take her there. I don't know what they're doing to her, because when I take her, when I come and pick her up, she having all this these behaviors. Now she's like getting mind you, when she's in the elementary school, she's not giving them hell like that. Literally, she would have these meltdowns and start peeing all over herself, because I started potty training her all over again. But when she would go to these daycares, she started throwing stuff. She started hitting everybody. And then she would purposely pee on herself. So the last time I ended up calling the head lady to see if there's any, like, before I could even get out, because I guess whoever, when she referred me to that daycare, I guess they had a good relationship. I guess that lady ended up telling the head lady. So as soon as I get on the phone with her, she already cuts me off. No, I don't know. No other daycares. I'm sorry. You just going to have to look into it yourself.